Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Abby and we make bookish content here, and in today's video we're going to be using my TBR jar to pick my June TBR. I haven't been doing this for a while. I've been traveling quite a bit. I went to Australia in March and then in May I went to New York, so it's been a bit crazy. And I mean, I was still picking TBRs, but I didn't film them because I didn't really think I would stick to them. And spoiler alert, I didn't stick to them. But I'm really hoping that June, it's summer and I love to read during the summer. So I'm really hoping that this month I actually stick to some of the books that I pick. I think I'm going to pick 6 books this month and see how we feel. Potentially pick a few more, but probably 6. So let's go for the first one. Also, if I pick ones that I picked before, I might take them out. I have been putting the ones back in here, but I feel like it's more exciting if we get different prompts. So yeah. Let's go for this one. I'm gonna try and show you guys before I show. I think that's upside down. What does that say? A booktube fave? Is that what it says? Yes, okay. So I feel like there's loads of options for booktube faves. Most of the books I buy are because people on booktube have talked about them. I'm gonna get my 25 to read 25 from my book journal because I'm not doing very well on my book journal on my 25 books to read in 2025, so maybe I should pick something from there. So some of the books that are on my 25 books to read in 2025, the first one is Daydream by Hannah Grace. This is the 3rd book in, I think it's the Maple Hills series. Now, I didn't love the other books in the series. I think they're like 3.5 or maybe 4-star reads, but they're definitely not favourite books of mine. But this book in particular follows Henry. Henry was my favourite character in like the other books. He's a really interesting and unique character, and I feel like his friendship towards the other characters in the books that I've read from this series is really beautiful. And so I think this book might be my final test to see if I give up with Hannah Grace's like Maple Hills series at least. I've heard people say that this is like the best one, and people that haven't liked the other books have really liked this one, so it could be a good one to do. And the edges are beautiful. I have read the 2nd book in this series on audio, and that was a really good experience. I might do the same for this one if I pick that one. I'm also trying to finish series this year, so that would be a great one to pick because then it'd be like caught up on that series. The next one, it's not necessarily that this book is a booktube fave, but Abby Jimenez is a booktube fave author, and I feel like this series everyone hypes up, and I'm trying to read her books in order, so this could be a really good option. I really like Abby Jimenez's writing style, but it is sometimes quite sad, so am I in the mood for a sad book? It's June. I normally like more light-hearted books in the summer, so I'm not 100% sure. I don't even know what this one is about. Okay, so it's about like ER doctors, and yeah, I feel like that could be fun, so that's an option. And then I think this is the one that most people would want me to read, but it's probably the one I'm least leaning towards, Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh, and the reason I'm least leaning towards it is the size, and also just I've heard it's really sad and like everyone just cries reading these books, and like people are obsessed with the series, so I feel like if I picked this I would want to read the entire series. I know one of the latest books is coming out at the end of May, so it would be a good time to start the series, but maybe it would be better to finish a series in the middle of first is what I'm thinking. I think for a booktube fave I am going to go for Daydream. I just need to get it off my TBR. I think if I don't like it, then that's me done with Hannah Grace, and that's good, but it'll be off my 25 books to read in 2025, and if I have time to put the other ones on there, then that would be great. Okay, book number 2. Go for this one. Show you first. a white cover. Okay, let's see if any of my 25 to reading 2025 have white covers. They don't. So that makes this a bit more challenging. Let me have a look at my shelves. Never mind, I know exactly which book I am picking. Normally I like to show you options and like discuss my thoughts, but I am determined to finish the Powerless series this month or June, July time. I'm rereading Powerless in May because I read that when it first came out and I was obsessed with it, but it's been a while now and I don't really remember what happened. So I'm rereading it and then I'm going to finish the series, otherwise it will never get off my TBR and it's really sad because I loved the characters. So Powerful will be my white book. I know that this is like kind of separate, so I don't know that you have to read this to read the other three, but I loved Adina and this is who it follows. She's a side character in the first book. She's Paden's best friend, and yeah, when I heard this was being released, I really wanted to read it, and I'm so happy that this is going to be on my June TBR. Again, completing series. I'm so happy about it. I mean, this doesn't complete a series, but it's continuing, you know? Prompt number 3. Honestly, I feel like these videos fly by. I get so into it and then it's like, oh, it's over. Those just fell out, but I'm going to pick the one that I actually picked. So, let's see. Whoa, that's a long one. Oh, I don't know what that says. Read a book blurbed by one of your favorite authors. That's a really fun one. Okay, I'm glad we're getting different prompts this month. Okay, so some of my favorite authors, let's think. Elle Kennedy is one of my favorite authors. Emily Henry. I really like Kerry Maniscalco, Sarah J. Maas. Who else do I like? Tessa Bailey, Abby Jimenez. So let's have a think. Okay, well, I've given up on trying to find a second option because I probably would have just chosen this one anyway, but it's Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, which I picked up earlier as an option. It's blurbed by Emily Henry on the front, and I feel like them two actually pair really beautifully together. Like, their writing styles aren't necessarily similar, but they do deal with like very similar themes. Like, they're quite deep and meaningful topics throughout their books. So yeah, I'm really excited to get onto this one because I just finished her first series and now I'm happy to start this one. I feel like this is the series that everyone hypes up so much, so I'm really excited to read this one. Okay, prompt number 4. I'm gonna go for this one. I feel like all the prompts we picked so far are pink, so I don't know if it's gonna be running theme. Oh no, this one is blue. Your current favourite genre? Well, my current favourite genres are romance and romantasy, but I would say I'm leaning more towards romance just because I feel like that's what I'm finding easier to read at the moment. I don't know why. I feel like I'm finding it harder to get into fantasy at the moment just because I'm maybe not in the mood for it. But I do already have a lot of romance on my TBR, but that's just the way it lies sometimes. Okay, so I've picked 2 books that are by 2 of my favourite authors. Well, they're 2 authors that I've really liked books from before. I don't know that at the moment I can consider them favourite authors. I'll explain why in a minute. So the first option is Reckless by Elsie Silver. I've only read books from her Chestnut Springs series, the first 3 books, and that's why I feel like I can't consider her a favourite author yet, because I feel like there's some authors who you absolutely adore one series from, but then they release another series and it's not quite the same. For example, I loved BK Borison's Love Like Farms series. Every single book in that I thought was incredible. And then First Time Caller came out and I just thought it was okay. And before that, I would have said she was one of my favourite authors. So I feel like I'm being a bit more reserved about saying who favourite authors are. Like, I have to try multiple different books from them. But I need to read the series in order still. Do you know what I mean? But this book I've been putting off because it has a trope in it that I tend to avoid in romance books. It's not a spoiler because it is on the blurb, but if you don't want to know, just skip a few seconds. But it's a surprise pregnancy trope. I have read books before that have this trope and I didn't hate it. So for example, Elle Kennedy has a book in her off-campus series that has that trope, but I like the book in spite of that. So that's why I've been putting this off. And it really sucks because I like the characters that this book is following. So I really want to read this series and I want to finish this series so that I can read her next series that everyone's talking about. So this is an option. The other option would be Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. Now, last month, if you'd have asked me, Ali Hazelwood was an all-time favourite author, would buy and devour every single book that she writes. However, last month I read Love Theoretically. And I did not particularly like it. I think I gave it 3 stars, maybe 3.5, which is still a fine rating. But every other Ali Hazelwood book that I have read has been at least 4, if not 5. So I think I was just like shocked that I didn't like an Ali Hazelwood book as much as I have expected to. Sorry, the angle has changed. My mum just came upstairs to talk to me. So where were we? But yeah, so I recently read Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood and I didn't love it as much. So I'm a bit more dubious now to call her one of my favourite authors. So which one do I want to read? I think I'm going to go for Reckless by Elsie Silver, just because I want to be finishing series. And although this is a new release, I actually want to read Ali's books in order that they came out. So next would be Check and Mate. So yeah, I think I want to save this one for a bit longer, although I do really want to know what the hype is about this one, because I feel like this one has been a bit controversial. So prompt number 5. Let's go for this one. I don't even know if you can read that. So what does that say? Oh, it was upside down. A book with a person on the cover. Oh, that might be a hard one actually. So I have a couple of options. I have Next of Kin by Hannah Bonham Young. Everyone has been raving about this author, and so I really want to try one of her books. I also don't know that I love this trope. I feel like it's a lot of like parenthood, so maybe I don't want that alongside Reckless this month when I'm reading like another baby book. So maybe that's not for this month. And then I've got Nora Goes Off Script, which has her here. Everyone's been raving about Annabelle Monaghan, so I do really want to try one of her books. And then lastly, I've got Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I just read an arc of Atmosphere that I got on my Kindle, which comes out in June, and I was obsessed with Atmosphere, so I now really want to finish all of the books that she's got out. And this is the only one that I have left on my shelf. I think I have to read like her backlist, like her real older ones, but I read like all of her more popular ones. So I'm really intrigued to read this one now. Maybe I'll pick Carrie Soto's Back because it's a bit different from what else I've got on my TBR so far. And yeah, that's about like a famous tennis player. And so our final pick is going to be this one. I think it's this way. Oh, red cover. I'm just going to do it because it needs to be done. I'm going to finish the series this month. I know it's not a fully red cover, but it has loads of red on it and a red spine. So Reckless. I'm going to read the Powerless series this month. I haven't got Fearless on my TBR, but this one is going to be on here. So yeah, these are the 6 books on my TBR this month. I feel like it's a good mix of genres, and hopefully I actually will get to these ones because these are all books I'm actually really excited to read. The TBR charted as good this month. So yeah, let me know if you've read any of these, which ones I should prioritize. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.